Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to today's webinar briefing, How to Gain the Skills You Need to Demand Higher Salaries, brought to you by GreenFig. We're so excited to have you here today. My name is Carrie Baldwin. I'm the Chief Learning Officer at GreenFig and your moderator. Here are a couple housekeeping items before we get started. Today's presentation is being recorded and will be sent out by email along with the presentation slides to all of you following the webinar. If you have any questions throughout today's session, please send them through the Q&A panel on the right-hand side of your screen, and we'll answer them in the order in which we receive them at the conclusion of the panel. Let me talk briefly about who we are and what we know about preparing students, professionals, and vets for the jobs that are in demand and paying higher salaries. GreenFig is a microeducation company. We offer micro degrees in applied business sciences, including high demand skills in areas such as marketing, sales, operations, and support. Well, what does that mean? It means that we offer accelerated experiential learning for current and recent graduates, professionals in transition, and veterans in a hybrid program that combines interactive online and offline team-based learning with real-time hands-on instruction in business application software such as Marketo, Google Analytics, and more, and all of this being taught by industry experts. And we do it in 10 hours a week. Now, I know that's a mouthful, so we'll share a bit more about what that means shortly. So I'm happy to have some very smart people joining us today as part of today's panel. A few facts about myself. I'm a decades-long demand generation and marketing technologist. My main role at GreenFig is to design and execute the digital marketing science course, which we'll talk about briefly, and I'm very excited to share that with you. I'm also a guest university lecturer and frequent speaker on digital marketing trends and topics. Next, I'd like to introduce Libby Unger. Libby is the CEO of GreenFig, and her passion and commitment for lifelong learning is founded on the belief that knowledge is the foundation for personal economic empowerment and essential for companies to continuously compete and win. So, hi Libby, welcome to the panel.
Hello Carrie, happy to be here.
Great. And representing the student view, we have Keenan O'Hearn. Keenan is a GreenFig graduate from the class of 2015. And he is engaged actively in digital marketing since his graduation, working to help educate and generate curiosity towards the future of digital marketing, and really one of my favorite people in the world. So, hi Keenan, thanks for being here.
Hi Carrie, thanks so much for having me.
Okay, great. Let's get started. So just a quick glance at our agenda here. We're going to focus in 4 key areas and certainly with an effort to wrap up before the top of the hour. The first thing that we'll talk about is GreenFig microeducation and what that means to you, currently what's happening in the industry, and how we are working quickly to solve some of the challenges. We'll dive into the digital marketing science course. I'll share an overview with you, and I will also share that overview in the follow-up email that we send so that you can have that for your personal reference. Then we'll dive into the good stuff, which is really what success looks like. We'll hear from Keenan on some of the experience that he's had, and also see what some of our other students have been able to successfully the jobs that they've been successfully able to acquire after completing our program. And then, as I mentioned at the top of the hour, we will save some time at the end for questions and answers. Okay, so I'd like to introduce Libby. Please go ahead and get started, Libby.
Great, thank you, Carrie. Thank you. We're really excited about what we're doing with GreenFig and the problem that we're solving. According to the World Economic Forum, we have entered the 4th industrial age. It is the age of the innovation economy, driven by data and technology to more quickly deliver new products to market, foster innovation, accelerate revenue growth, and expand margins. The nature of work is changing exponentially. We live this and feel this every day. We see 3 key roles as core to the innovation economy. The software engineer who codes digital solutions used by companies today. The data scientist who structures the metadata delivered by the digital solutions companies use today. And then finally, the business scientist who uses their knowledge of business strategy and tactics to drive insights and actions, then leveraging the digital solutions and products to grow businesses. Digital literacy is the foundation for every role out there today and every company. I'm going to talk a little bit more about what that means. Next slide, please. We have seen incredibly strong demand for business scientists. There are over 2.5 million jobs for business scientists listed on Indeed.com today. 2.5 million jobs in product, marketing, sales, support, and operations. Compare this to the 300,000 jobs in software engineering and development. The public dialogue and discourse is really focused on solving the problem for the 300,000 software engineers and developers that companies need to code and develop the products used by business scientists in businesses today. We are really focused on solving the problem with educating and preparing individuals for the jobs and for the 2.5 million jobs for business scientists available today. Next slide, please. Employers are finding it difficult to find qualified talent for those 2.5 million jobs. Our current education ecosystem is inadequate. Today's workforce really needs an educational solution that enables individuals and companies to continuously develop and hone the skills required by businesses today. Traditional education, online education, application software company training, and corporate training alone cannot keep up with the pace of change and support continuous development of individuals to remain relevant for their companies and for the companies to remain competitive to win in the rapidly changing markets of today. Next slide, please. And this is why we developed GreenFig, and we're really excited about our unique value proposition out there. We are about creating job-ready talent for high-demand roles in marketing, sales, operations, support, and beyond. Students go from 0 to proficient in less than 10 hours a week over 16 weeks. So you go from 0 to proficient in a new area of business and or reskill yourself and upskill yourself for those to be relevant in the jobs that you have today with less than 10 hours a week over 16 weeks. Why are we unique and different? We have industry experts who provide the context, real-time software application instruction and mentorship, real time. We offer micro degrees in applied business science, but those are earned with practical work experience and industry recognized certifications such as Google Analytics and the pending Marketo Certified Associate credential. We're also unique in our application process, which screens for student commitment and vision. This means when you're in our classes, you're surrounded by individuals who are equally committed to learning and engaging and contributing to the class learning environment. But the final element that differentiates us from the rest is about our accelerated experiential learning model. Let's double click on that. Next slide, please. Our hybrid learning platform combines live interactive classroom instruction with online and offline learning and real-life application in mini internships at real companies with real projects. So let's repeat that again. We have live virtual classrooms. We broadcast live from Bend, Oregon to virtual geo-based classrooms. Carrie will talk about that when she discusses the digital marketing science course, but this is really critical and key to our source of differentiation. We also leverage an online platform for students to prepare for class, to engage with instructors and their peers for preparation, testing, and continual learning. And then finally, you get to apply what you've learned in the classroom and online in a real project. Our approach is unique and designed to give you the practical work experience you need to be effective in your job day one, whether it is a new one or are you seeking to upskill for relevance in your existing job. Carrie will tell you a bit more about that with the digital marketing science class. One last slide. And here we go. We are launching our digital marketing science course this fall, September 13th. We also have planned additional courses applying this same model and applying the same learning model in 2018 across sales, service, support, operations, and beyond. Now you get to hear from Carrie Baldwin about our digital marketing science class.
Fantastic. Thank you for that, Libby, and I hope that the audience was able to absorb really what we're trying to do is game-changing and really trying to tackle a challenge. You know, myself, you know, in my background as a digital marketing agency owner, I experienced just really this skills gap when looking for new talent to join the team. And you know, part of the reason why I collaborated with the founding members of GreenFig to develop this program is I saw firsthand the challenges that companies were facing when looking to fill the gap of those $2.5 million job openings. So I think we're onto something really special here. But the digital marketing science course, which we're launching in the fall, starting September 13th, really is designed to fit your busy life. So we're reaching out to professionals as we talk about in transition. Maybe you are you're an admin and you'd like to get a job in the marketing department, or you're a sales development rep and you want to move to you know, grow your skills in PPC or you know, content marketing. Maybe you are a consultant or a contractor who has you know, worked more broadly and looking for some generalist skills. Or you know, what we see quite frequently is recent college graduates who have a degree in liberal arts, you know, super smart individuals with a good foundation, but just don't really have the skill sets needed to, you know, to land their first job. So we designed the class for individuals like you who have busy lives. And so as Libby mentioned, we are spreading this out over a 4-month time period so that it's consumable for people that have you know, classes or a full-time job or other commitments throughout the day. So it will be evenings and 1 weekend a month through the course of a 4-month period. And I think that's, you know, that's really unique as we thought about pulling this program together. Now here's a sneak peek at what the class actually looks like. I am going to include a copy of this in the follow-up email that we send to you. But essentially, our session is broken into 5 different modules. So we're starting off with fundamentals. You know, some of that really basic stuff, business boot camp. What's the difference between B2B and B2C? What's the alphabet soup out there that the industry uses, and you know, what does that mean for you? One of the new classes that we've added this year that I'm super excited about is the cognitive bias and the impact on marketing, which I think is something that we all know and think about, but you know, how do we take that and really apply it to you know, to individuals and buyers' cognitive bias to marketing. Then we're going to dive into some understanding return on investment, big topic for marketers these days, how to align sales and marketing, and really understand what your market is, whether you're a B2B or B2C company. How do you know what your market is and who you should target? So the fundamentals component is foundational, but also really the opportunity for people to dive in and understand what's going on, at a very basic level from a marketing perspective. Then we move into the strategy component, where we talk about messaging and understanding buyers and aligning content strategy and storytelling. This is the kind of stuff that professionals that have been in the industry for 15, 20 years are trying to learn and grasp. So it's an amazing opportunity for our students to get themselves to the level of being on par with their understanding with people that have been in the industry for a long time. And then we'll move deep into the digital marketing tactics piece, which we'll cover areas such as SEO, PPC, ABM, website optimization, social analytics, math of the business, which is one of my favorite classes, and I'm teaching that one, to make sure that we understand how to, how much money do we need to invest from a marketing department in order to get the outcome that the CEO and the CFO are expecting. So the digital marketing tactics module is really meaty and a great, just an amazing learning opportunity for people to get a real good flavor of what some of the tactics that are out there that are these job openings are focused on. Then we're going to dive into the technology piece, and I think this is something that as marketers we understand. We need to understand technology. Maybe we don't have to be experts in it, but more and more marketing departments are talking about marketing tech stacks. So companies are investing a significant amount of money in the technology in the marketing department, and as marketers, we need to understand it. We also are offering 30 hours of Marketo training for our course, which for those of us that know of Marketo, it's one of the leading marketing automation tools, and in many marketing departments across the globe. And so being able to go into Marketo and learn how to do things, that is an invaluable opportunity for our students, and we're super excited about offering that. And then as Libby was talking about, the real world project is that experiential piece. It's where our students are going to be working with a Marketo customer and work in their live instance, executing real campaigns for projects. And this is the kind of stuff that, builds your resume like nothing else, because, at the end of the day here, you're going to have the practical experience. You're going to be able to say to your prospective job employers, I did this. I know how to do that. These were the results that we were able to share. And it's just a phenomenal opportunity, for that first, resume building piece for our students to be able to share. So the classes to just, as Libby said, take you from 0 to 60 in 10 hours or less a week. And, the end result is that job readiness that we're all super excited about here at GreenFig. So in order to achieve a micro degree from GreenFig, there are really 3 components. One is our students will need to pass at each of the modules that I discussed, the 5 modules. There'll be an assessment at the end, and the students will need to pass with a score of 80% or higher. Now, we're not trying to stump students. We're trying to ensure that our students are learning. And as Libby mentioned, we put together an interactive learning platform, which is beyond, I think, we're seeing anywhere right now. It's phenomenal, and we're building the curriculum from the ground up, really with the focus of ensuring that we're teaching what the students need to learn in a way that they will grasp it and own it and be able to apply it in their future jobs. So, our expectation is that achieving the 80% or higher is just part of a part of the learning process. We are requiring that our students achieve the Google Analytics certification before the end of the class. With our assistance and support, we do have an entire day, a Saturday session on Google Analytics. So the students will definitely get the foundation in order to achieve that certification, and that's one that employers are looking for as well. They will also be required to complete the real world project module with a positive rating from the project mentors. And in the future, as Libby had mentioned, Marketo is coming out with their Certified Associate certification, and that test creation is in progress, and we hope to include that as an element of our digital marketing science micro degree as well. So super excited about our partnership with Marketo in that area. Okay, so what does success look like? These amazing faces, this is my favorite slide of all. We have seen our graduates secure good paying jobs at companies such as Booz Allen Hamilton, Groupon, Collective, and many more. Plus the networking that the students have done with the instructors has led them to LinkedIn connections that I could only dream of when starting my career in marketing. And I think that's one of the differentiators that our students feel is, that connection or the passion from our industry instructors and kind of that after-class guidance and mentorship that we're seeing our instructors provide to our students, I think is really invaluable, especially as you're launching your career path in marketing. I think the one additional noteworthy thing here is the 80% placement rate for students wanting jobs, and that's what we have seen over the past 2 summer courses that we've done in digital marketing, and we anticipate similar results and level of commitment from all. So I love this slide, and I have actually hired a couple of these individuals as well. So I'm a big believer as an employer of the skill sets that our students are acquiring and applying as they graduate. So, and then a quick look at our rock star instructors. I mean, we can do everything that we are doing from a sales, marketing, and curriculum development, but without the passion and commitment from our rockstar instructors that really come in and teach the things that they know and that they're experiencing every day in the industry, we wouldn't see the kind of success that we've been seeing. And this is just an example of some of the representation of companies that we've had, but we've had the Portland Trailblazers come and teach. We have had Jeffrey Moore of Crossing the Chasm fame come, executives from Marketo, Engagio, Inside View, Microsoft, brand name companies as well as Stellar Loyalty and, startup companies that are, doing some really unique and interesting things and getting our students the exposure to individuals and products that, that are just really exciting and being applied in the industry. So with that, I am going to pass the baton to my dear friend Keenan, and he can share a little bit with you about his experience both as a graduate of GreenFig and as a current employee of GreenFig. So Keenan, I'm going to pass that off to you.
Hey, thank you so much, Carrie. And you laid it out so well. I mean, 2 years ago, I came to GreenFig, and just a freshman, my freshman summer, I came in and quite naive to the whole process of what digital marketing was and this whole new world that I seemed to be kind of blind to just going to school. And I was very young, and everybody else in the class was very old or older than I was. And it was such a great experience because I entered a community of people who were just, seeking and ready to upscale or reskill themselves as marketers. And it was so encouraging to see others who were trying to do this, who were older than me, but still at the same place. And so we all entered in, and we had that kind of naivete to it all. But entering in that first day and being able to say like, hey, we don't know what PPC, CTR, CPC, LTV, or any of these acronyms mean. I mean, you're throwing them out like hello or LOL, but the teacher listed it out, explained it, told us what each meant, and really kind of built that foundational aspect to the whole class. And that was every day. Every day we had a foundation to what we were learning, and then we built upon that and built upon that and built upon that until we started becoming those business scientists that we talk about here at GreenFig. And it was so encouraging, and I can't speak enough to the encouragement and just to the overall community of it all. And so as we progressed, we learned new programs and platforms. And like you talked about earlier, Carrie, you talked about the Google Analytics certification and the AdWords certification and the teaching from Marketo and Salesforce. Those were so crucial. I mean, I came out of the class with a certification in Google Analytics and AdWords, and also experience in Marketo, and being able to go to my first employer and say, I have done these, I've worked in these, I'm certified in these, really just kind of blew me out of the park. And it was so wonderful to have the kind of encouragement from the teachers, and then also to have just the kind of professionalism and experience under my belt to go into my first job and just be ready. And that was kind of an everyday thing too. So we had that foundation, and we built upon that with the programs and kind of started building this digital marketing sense around us as students, and which kind of led us into the new learning environment. And we learned how to calculate ROI for our campaigns and how to measure and apply the data that we were getting from the platforms such as Google Analytics and from Marketo. And we got to piece it all together. And I always think about it as kind of this beautiful puzzle that's kind of fitting perfectly. And every time I learn something new, I'm getting that kind of new piece, or I'm getting that corner piece, and it's kind of all coming together slowly but surely, and really developing that whole map. And it was so wonderful. And so as I progressed, we kind of built that foundation, started building more, and we learned the programs, and we learned the environment. And then at the end of it, we had those real-world projects. And with those real-world projects, I was able to go into a company. G5 was my company. And literally from the first day to the last day of our real-world project, it was hands down, heads down. We were doing work for the company. And we actually generated leads from that. We were able to successfully help the company in one of their accounts. And it was just an overall great experience and very educational. And so as we progressed, next slide, Carrie, and as I graduated from GreenFig, I got more internships. And with those internships, I was able to walk in on my first day and say, I have done these certifications, I have trained in these areas. And with those, my boss didn't have to onboard me. They didn't have to teach me certain skills or certain aspects of their company. They just had to put me in front of a computer, and I was able to start just working for them. And I was able to contribute to a team and to be a team member. And that also came with that skill of learning and integrating and communicating with people from GreenFig and from my own classmates, and from that that experience in total. And so it wasn't just the learning that brought me and made me into the business scientist. It was the people along the way, the instructors, the teachers, and the classmates that I had that really formed me into a holistic and really well-rounded business scientist. And so my current role as a business scientist is working for GreenFig and to do what they have taught me to do and for them, but also to be a student and a teacher to others. And so at my school, at my university, George Fox University, I've created a class that we've taught and has been successful for 2 years now, where many students have come and successfully graduated from that as well, learning some business scientist skills and digital marketing skills. And we've also created a club that is one of the most attended clubs at the whole university in the last year. And so it's really great seeing the interest that every student has brought and continues to bring to digital marketing in general, but also to what GreenFig is offering. And that's that journey. And that journey to become that business scientist, which doesn't just mean the skill, but it also means the well-roundedness of a professional, and a professional that's willing and ready to exceed and just experience the digital marketing world. And so, Carrie, with all ado, I mean, I have complete respect for GreenFig, and I thank you very much for having me today. And I guess we can continue.
Fantastic. Thank you, Keenan. It's really uplifting to hear you talk about the success that you've achieved, and also you know, your ability to share it and spread the love. So thank you.
Thank you.
So there's a lot of information that we shared on the webinar today, and if you'd like to talk to us one-on-one, we'd love to talk to you. And so at the end, I'll provide the contact information for all of the panelists on the call today. And let's transition to rounding out the webinar with some Q&A. So I see we have a couple questions, and feel free to ask your questions under the question tab on the right-hand side of your control panel. Let's see. So the first question, I think, Libby, I'm going to give to you. So we have Alex, who wants to know, how are you different from Coursera?
Excellent. Thank you. Coursera. Actually, Alice, thank you for the question. Coursera, Udacity, and some of the other online education platforms are fabulous for a specific purpose. What we have done is we are actually a little more broader in what we do. As we've said, we're really focused on the experiential learning that helps you to be prepared on day one in a new role, or to be effectively using the new skills that you acquire after our class if you're upskilling for your current role. So we really are different from the fact that we offer live interactive training. This means that you actually, in your virtual classrooms, you actually see the instructor. You're actually asking questions. The instructors are providing real-time feedback as they see you and your teams work through projects, setting up an application and testing and running it. You're getting that real-time feedback as you're doing the work in a live classroom environment. The online experience is also slightly more developed in that you can work as teams to prepare your homework together, post your homework, provide each other with feedback, as well as get feedback from your mentors. This is probably more similar to what the experience is on Udacity and Coursera, where it's kind of Facebook meets an LMS, and you can provide comments real time for feedback, but you're not getting the real time feedback as you're applying and using the skills that you're developing, like you do in the live classroom and or the project. We also have a real project. It's not a business case that teams are working on together. This is a real project, as Keenan talked about, our wonderful Keenan talked about earlier. You're really applying what you've learned for a business in a business with a mentor who is there to help you, but also has some skin in the game because they're getting a real benefit from you being there and applying those skills. So it's applied application. So the key sources of differentiation from Coursera, Udacity, and other online learning platforms is our live interactive classroom-based, as well as the real project.
Great. Thank you, Libby. That was a great explanation. I'm going to go ahead and take this next question. It's from Anthony. Anthony wants to know, what will the Marketo training include? It's a great question. 30 hours, which we're really excited about. And we're still in the process of finalizing the training curriculum with Marketo. But right now, what we're planning to include are core concepts. So it's kind of a foundational understanding of Marketo and how everything works. Building programs and campaigns, which are specific tactics within Marketo, customizing creative assets, and building engagement programs. So we will understand theoretically how to build them, and then we will actually build them. There are a couple other things that we're going to be adding to the curriculum, but for now, that's what we currently have in our partnership with Marketo. And I think one thing to point out is GreenFig is a partner of Marketo, and they're working very closely with us to ensure that we have the latest and greatest training curriculum, the ones that they're training their customers with as well. So yeah, so that's my answer there, Anthony. Okay, let's see. So Keenan, one for you might be a good one. Is how do you plan to utilize the skills that you've learned?
Yeah, I mean, as I spoke about before, I've been able to create a class and at my own university where we've implemented the same learning that we got from GreenFig, and we implemented it in a way of kind of a club atmosphere. So students came with problems or seeking to learn more about digital marketing, and we set up each day base by base of what they wanted to learn. And it was really great because I took the skills that I had first off there from GreenFig, and I put it right into a classroom experience and was able to turn around and teach it. And then secondly, I was able to speak from experience. So I had an internship last year where I worked for G5 that I got actually from my real world project at the end of the GreenFig class. And so while working at G5, I was able to implement everything I've learned and contribute. And at the end of my time there, I actually created specific forms and features in the company that are still used today. And that was because of what I had learned at GreenFig. And so now in my current role is working for GreenFig and helping to establish and to create in the digital marketing world for them and to just help. And I mean, it's been an everyday thing, and it's always an everyday thing, especially in digital marketing. It's an ever-changing environment, and that's the beauty of it, I think, and that's why so many people are intrigued by it, is because it's always kind of elusive, but you're still paving the way for the future of all those who are with you and walking with you, but also behind you, and which is just a great kind of place to be, because you're always seeking that education and that new learning piece of it. And so today I'm still utilizing it in my current role at GreenFig. I've utilized it in the past at G5, and I utilize it as a teaching platform as well, and to help others who are seeking those skills to achieve them. And so it's today and yesterday and continuously I'm still using those skills.
Great, thank you, Keenan. Okay, so Libby, Amy wants to know, can someone attend who isn't based in San Francisco and New York City? I've seen on your website, these are the locations. So can you address that location?
Yeah, absolutely. As Carrie explained, a key component of the classroom environment is team-based. So we want to ensure that you're close to and reside in regions where you can work with your team. We will have requirements that you meet at least once a month with different team members. So you want to be geo-based. We do have the opportunity, if you can bring a team of 4 to 5 together in your region in California and New York, we can support that. So for those of you who have you have peers and others who are interested in California and New York and are regionally based and not in San Francisco or New York, we can absolutely support that. And we have some B2B, or excuse me, we also have some other options that we're developing that may help those who aren't in California and New York to get the training that you want. So feel free to reach out to us after this webinar to learn more about that. But thanks for the question. Great question.
Yeah, that was a good question. So that's everything that we have as far as open questions here. But to everyone, if you, after the webinar, if you have some questions, something that you were thinking about that you weren't able to ask, here is our contact information. And as I mentioned, I'll send the slide deck along with the recording and the digital marketing schedule overview for everyone in their inbox. But I think that's all the time we have here today. So thank you to everyone for attending our briefing, How to Gain the Skills You Need to Demand Higher Salaries. And we hope to see you all in our class this fall. And as a reminder, if you have any questions, please reach out. And I wanted to extend a big thank you to Libby and Keenan for joining us today.
Yes, thank you so much, Carrie, for moderating and being our excellent instructor in charge of all of what we're doing in digital marketing. Your experience and passion is invaluable. And thank you, Keenan, as well, for your contribution to the team, as well as evolving our digital marketing science course. Thank you, everyone.
And thank you both. Thank you so much, Carrie and Libby, for having me today, and I'm so excited to continue this learning experience.
Fantastic. So this concludes our webinar. Have a great rest of the day, everyone. Thank you.